So button the shirt up because I forgot to button the shirt up, and let's get the shirt all buttoned. That's a good idea. So it's a little tight. That's all right. Kitten, I'm gonna murder you. Yeah. Yeah. Kitten's going back into heat again. Fantastic. That's okay. All right. So hey everyone, welcome. It's here's a problem. Monkey Cam is working. Oh, fantabulous. How's everyone doing? We're having quite the adventure. GameStop, after having the crazy after hours yesterday, like pushes way back down to 27 and whatever. But there were several glitches popping up on multiple brokerages. So I'm showing GameStop sales at $40,000 a share, some at like $167,000 a share. Weird things happening. Glitch better have my money. I don't know what's going on. I didn't have the balls to pull the trigger on my options play, which means it's going to be crazy high when it opens next week. That's just how it works. Doge screwed the pooch. Those children who were running the Doge program for Elon Musk never created a secure database. The database was hacked several times today, revealing all sorts of classified information that was being held on those servers that those children should have never had access to. Oops. Seven prosecutors with the Southern District of New York have resigned their positions, refusing to dismiss charges against Eric Adams as negotiated between the Trump administration and Eric Adams' office. They're like, no, I have some integrity. And some of them are extremely conservative Federalist Society folks who, they're not going to put up with that. They see the rule of law and they see the purpose of our legal system as being undermined by the current administration. And they're like, no, I'm not doing it. Good luck finding a prosecutor who will do this, because they basically sealed their fate as the worst lawyer in the entire world. So, oops. Eric Adams said, I never asked the Trump administration to dismiss charges. And then video came out of him asking the Trump administration to dismiss charges. So, New York, you could have had Maya Wiley as your mayor. But no, you decided to elect a corrupt cop who never lived in New York as your mayor. Good job. So, anything else to add, Monkey Butt? Nope, just being a dog in a tube. Okay, dog in a tube. And, bam. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Houston, we have a problem. Okay. Off. I didn't give too much lead time into the show today. The computer was frozen and had to reboot, and I was like, dang it. And then I forgot to get the cat's asthma medicine, and then finally got here. So here we are. What's on your minds, gentle people? Andrew Dowell was first, and he's also first to like. Thomas was second. Andrew Dowell, now turn off the intro, turn off second intro. Oh! There's actually another intro one. Yesterday's intro is still on. There we go. Intros are now off. Thank you, Andrew Dell. Thomas. Can't even tell what that face is. Is that a laughy face? Iggy Lamone, stop ruining our beloved double intros. You did ruin the double intro. It was about to happen. Corporate Walnut. I want Corporate Walnut to be the devil on Houston's shoulder like those old cartoons. Do it. Yeah, do it too. All right. Alex Bishop throws in a green one. What's the news on No Labs? They've released their quarter one earnings. They lost $4 million or whatever, like 4 cents a share. They don't have a product to sell yet, so they still wait for that approval. So that's all the news they have on No Labs, was that they did their quarter one earnings today. Yeah. Thomas, curious to see if he covers the Chernobyl news. Wait, the Chernobyl news? What the? How did I miss Chernobyl news? That did not. Nothing Chernobyl-ish popped up in my news feed. Chernobyl. Russian drone hits Chernobyl nuclear radiation shield. What the fuck? How did this not pop up in my news feed? 13 hours ago. What type of Russian moron would do that? At least that thing is like crazy thick. So hopefully it didn't do too much damage. Looks like it just bounced off. Chrome. Boink. 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 Oh no, some of it made it inside. Holy crap. It did puncture a hole. Why are you not showing anything? Oh, because I didn't turn it on. Yeah, it did puncture a hole. That's bonkers. That is absolutely insane. That should be reason enough to have the UN step in. But you know, Russia's in the Security Council. So what the UN should do is kick Russia off the Security Council and put Ukraine on the Security Council, because there was no guarantee at the fall of the USSR who should replace the USSR on the Security Council. And why Russia got it, I don't know. But yeah. Kremlin spokesman denied they attacked the plant. Oh really? Oh yeah. Oh no, we never do that. Even though we did it before. So dumb. Okay. Ghost Host 13th. KYP. Hey, Houston. Hey, KYP. Thomas, happy Valentine's Day. Oh yeah, it's happy Valentine's Day. I don't have a Valentine's shirt. I should have one that's like covered in hearts or something. It just says "Kiss me, I'm single." Rosemoon, glitch better my money for real. Ghost Host is also 10th. Tony, Houston, did you know the toothbrush was invented in Kentucky? If it were invented anywhere else, it would have been a teeth brush. That's a good one. Darren Saunders, how about that resignation letter by Hagen Scotton? Yeah. I mean, seriously, let's pull it up, because it is a very good it's a very, 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 very good letter. All right. Mr. Bove, I have received correspondence indicating that I refuse your order to move to dismiss the indictment against Eric Adams without prejudice, subject to certain conditions, including the express possibility of reinstatement in the indictment. That is not exactly correct. The U.S. Attorney Danielle R. Sassoon never asked me to file such a motion, and therefore I never had an opportunity to refuse. But I am entirely in agreement with her decision not to do so for the reasons stated in her February 12, 2025 letter to the Attorney General. In short, the first justification for the motion, that Damian Williams' role in the case was somehow tainted a valid indictment supported by ample evidence and pursued under 4 different U.S. attorneys, is so weak as to be transparently pretextual. The second justification is worse. No system of ordered liberty can allow the government to use the carrot of dismissing charges or the stick of threatening to bring them again to induce an elected official to support its policy objectives. There is a tradition in public service of resigning in a last-ditch effort to head off a serious mistake. Some will view the mistake you are committing here in light of their generally negative views of the new administration. I do not share those views. I can even understand how a chief executive whose background is in business and politics might see the contemplated dismissal with leverage as good, if a distasteful deal. But any assistant U.S. attorney would know that our laws and traditions do not allow using the prosecutorial power to influence other victims. Sorry, I can't read. I need new glasses so bad. I'm so glad I'm getting them. Using the prosecutorial powers to influence other citizens, much less elected officials, in this way. If no lawyer within earshot of the president is willing to give him that advice, then I expect you will eventually find someone who is enough of a fool or enough of a coward to file your motion. But it was never going to be me. Please consider this my resignation. It has been an honor to serve as a prosecutor in the Southern District of New York. All right, you stupid cat. Are you going to sit here and yell all day long because your hormones are going wild? Is that what you're going to do? Should I take you and throw you like a football out of the room? Because seriously, if this happens happening every 2 weeks, I cannot handle it. You are adorable, and you're about to fly away. Woo! Okay. There we go. Shut the front door, cat. All night. I'm on like an hour of sleep because that stupid animal can't shut up. My roommate finally scheduled to get her giblets out on the 27th, and those things better be ripped out and like thrown in a trash can. Okay, so Alex Bishop says hi everyone. Agro Crag aficionado H Gizio, who shutterized on GME today? When Bone. I don't know, but it seemed very orchestrated. That's for sure. The glitches are very strange. The fact that they're coming across multiple brokerages means it wasn't an input glitch from a single brokerage or exchange. It was doing weird stuff, and I honestly don't understand it. I don't understand how these glitches keep happening. It doesn't happen. Well, here's the thing. There were glitches last summer. Remember when those blue chips all crashed and uh, uh, like Berkshire went down to was $138 or something, and some people managed to buy like $45 million worth in that glitch. So it's it has not happened yet to where one of us gets that 40K for a share. It better happen soon. if it knows what's good for it. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what's going on. Bex Houston, happy birthday. Monkey needs a treat. Do you mind me feed a treat into the hopper here? Huh? Monkey want a big old pig ear fed into the hopper. Open to that grinder. There it is. Oh, you dropped it on the floor, ding dong. Her eyes immediately went. Oh. Okay, you got it? Can you get it? Can you pick it up? Is that going away? Can you get it? All right, she's got it. We're good. She just bummed she had to get off her comfy little bed there. Andrew Dow, Houston. Next time I donate to Charity Tuesday, will I get a 21% UK tariff? I don't think so, because you're not buying a good or service. You're donating, and I'm sure you're donating through whatever YouTube affiliate is in the UK. So I don't think so. But don't hold me to it. Alex Bishop, the prosecutors should not have resigned. Bad ones are going to take their place. I mean, that's also true. But they are setting a precedent that the prosecutor who does take on that role will be doomed as a lawyer for the rest of their lives. They will be tainted in such a way that no law firm will pick them up. They'll never work a post-federal job. If another administration ever comes in, they're out, and they'll be bagging groceries or something. Or at best, they'll have some Fox News show that's on at 2:00 in the morning. How's Monkey Butt? Monkey Butt's doing okay. She's the cone. The cone brings up a level of depression, I think, in her that she's just like, why is this my life? But the wound's looking pretty good today. It's looking way better than it was yesterday. So, yeah. I just hope that by this time next week, no cone. She's running. She's doing her thing. And that the first round of chemo isn't super terrible. Right? We want it to be okay. Truth. Bill Coin Super Chats. Your thoughts? All the gov layoffs, tariffs, economic fear will crash the economy soon. Definitely terrible for housing. Oh, it's going to crash so unbelievably hard. Like, something that Elon doesn't understand is that only $271 billion of the federal budget goes into personnel. That's how much we pay all the people who work in the government in all branches of the military, all civilian employees, you name it. $271 billion. Our budget is $6 trillion, which means most of the funding, most of the stuff we spend in the government is not on employees. So firing all these employees won't make a dent and will vaporize the economy. It will clear out a lot of GDP. On the other side, he's also canceling numerous contracts. And those contracts, those federal contractors, they employ millions more people. They also want to get rid of $800 billion of Medicare, which is basically all of Medicare. They want to do away with Social Security, which is essentially the only retirement funds for about 60 million Americans. Yeah, it's just so silly. And then they like Elon just comes out with these like straight bold-faced lies, be like, "Hey, they're sending $50 million in condoms to Gaza," and then reporters are like, "We checked it. No, they're not. Well, I can't be trusted to know everything, right?" But it gets out there and it gets spread across the internet by a whole bunch of tools, and people all of a sudden are believing like, "Hey, we're sending $50 million in condoms to Gaza." No, we never did. Like, and then he's trying to. Yesterday, he was trying to blame Reuters, the news service, for having some sort of contract to do, government propaganda. It's like, see, Reuters is a propaganda agency. The problem is that Reuters, the news service, is different than Thomson Reuters, the federal contractor. They're different companies, completely unrelated to each other. But a whole bunch of other morons out there who see Elon's tweets are like, yeah, I'm never reading a Reuters article again. They're evil French people, right? They're different companies. They're different people. They have nothing to do with each other. It's like confusing Meta Materials and Meta Facebook. They're different companies, but or confusing AMC movie theaters with AMC television. They're different companies. They're not the same thing. So it's just, we have the dumbest people in the entire world. I mean, Elon posted this thing the other day about, a Social Security, they don't do deduplication of Social Security numbers. It's insane. And then a guy responded who's a database administrator, like, obviously Elon has never used SQL. And Elon's like, this retard thinks the government uses SQL. Yes. My computer science professor who taught me computational astrophysics, Dr. John, whatever his name is, he was on the team that invented SQL. And who were the first people who brokered contracts to use SQL? The U.S. Navy, NASA, the Pentagon. So yes, the government uses SQL. Almost everyone uses SQL. There's Access and there's other databases out there, but for fuck's sake, it is like the most primary database language. I bet Twitter uses it, but Elon wouldn't know these things because he's a complete poser and has actually no clue how any of this stuff actually works. It's just Fabrizio said super chat says blow this on a call. Oh wow, I'll blow it on a call all day long. Okay. Thank you. But yeah, the Bitcoin, the economy is going to start imploding especially if we don't make good on paying interest rates on our bonds, and if we don't if our checks bounce or don't even get sent out to federal contractors. That's a great way to immediately just evaporate 10 to 20% of the entire U.S. economy in an instant. Yeah, and if you I don't know if you saw, reverse repo is down to $50 billion now. Basically, it's done. So the banks are about to have zero liquidity here in maybe a matter of days. So, Also, Pete Hegseth said in a speech today that the U.S. government, the U.S. Navy is not prepared to take on the Russian Navy. That we do not have the sailors or the ships that are able to handle the Russian Navy. Pete Hegseth is a drunk moron. The Ukraine whooped the Russian Navy, and Ukraine doesn't have a navy. Russia has one aircraft carrier. It is a coal-fired aircraft carrier that caught on fire in dry dock and isn't even floating right now. They cannot compete with our 11 carrier groups. No navy on earth can compete with our 11 carrier groups. We have more submarines, more nuclear capable destroyers. Our navy is huge. On top of that, our amphibious landing vehicles, which there's so many, the Marines and their helicopters and Harrier jets just swarm everywhere with those things. No, Pete Hegseth, you absolute tool. The U.S. Navy is the most powerful navy to ever be on the seas in history. They are more prepared than anything you could possibly imagine, and a whole bunch of glorified fishing boats that Russia has left cannot compete. They may have a couple of submarines that can do some damage, But remember, the submarines do like to implode and sink to the bottom of the sea a lot. So maintenance is not being kept up. No, or like knowing how qualified my sister is as a human being at doing anything. You know, college athlete, 4 master's degrees, PhD, highest ranked female sharpshooter in the U.S. Armed Forces. She could probably bench press PXF at this point. Knowing how qualified she is as a captain in the Navy, and knowing that this absolute clown with white supremacist tattoos all over his body, who is a drunk rapist, is somehow leading our armed forces, is absolutely a painful downfall for the U.S. military. On a positive note, the U.S. Army told Hegseth to go suck it. That they will not change the medical status of any trans soldier or their family members going through transition or surgery or anything. That they can keep doing their thing. So the U.S. Army is kind of calling the bluff on the administration. What was the headline I saw? It was a memo coup. The U.S. Army memo was like, yeah, don't listen to this asshole. Basically, is what they said. So I have a friend. She was a former Navy mechanic. Transition. You know what? None of you would know. You'd meet her and be like, "That's a hot blonde who works on diesel engines." But like, you wouldn't know. You would have no idea that she had been born male. But you know what? Served honorably. Got a retirement. Works on diesel engines to this day. Utilizing our people to do jobs in the military is what gives us strength. I talked about it before. Diversity is our strength, man. You want to be able to call from the population and have them want to serve your country. That's what you need. If people want to serve your country, you're doing it right. If all of a sudden you make it say, I don't like you either, you're not good, then you're going to stop having the good people who want to serve your country, and you're going to get the bad people who want to serve your country, and there are not enough bad people who want to serve your country. Hegseth got obliterated in a back and forth with reporter. Let's see if I can find it. I think I sent it to somebody. What? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Who did I send it to? Did I send it to Julio? I can find it in here. Where are you? I think I thought I did. This one? Oh, did it get wiped? Did they delete? Holy shit! Elon deleted the account that posted it. What a little free speech bitch. Okay. Hegseth, back and forth values. Okay. Where was it? Oh, that's 27th. I want to need something from yesterday. News. What is it not showing up at all? Crap! There was a fantastic. It was a fantastic back and forth with a Hegseth. The Hegseth's like, well, we need strength and not values, and then the reporter's like, what do you mean? Like, strength doesn't mean anything if you lose all your values. And Hegseth says something effective like, no, you cares about your values, you just need strength. And the reporter's like, but if people don't like you and don't want to fight for you, you're not going to win. Hegseth's like, that's not true. And she's like, Vietnam, Afghanistan, multiple times. She's like, these little teeny tiny countries if people believe in what they're fighting for, can whoop a major player any day. Look at Ukraine. Ukraine should have been steamrolled by Russia, and they've been holding their own for 3 years now. And 850,000 Russians are dead. If you lose the values of your military and your nation, the people aren't going to want to fight for you. Even if they are in the military, they're going to be like, meh, and they're not going to do their hardest or their damnedest because they're not going to care. I cannot believe that back and forth got deleted. Where are you? All I have is stuff from 3 weeks ago. XF press conference values. Maybe that one. Okay, maybe. Give me the. Here we go. If I can do Control F, Vietnam. No, not there. Not in that one. Where'd it go? They took it out of the transcript. Holy crap! What a little Nazi bitch. Okay, let's try Control F. Values. Oh, they took out the questions. Yep. Yeah, I don't see it. Okay. Not there. 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 Yeah, they took out the question. The question that pushed back on his value statement. It's gone from the transcript. Cool. Cool, U.S. government. Way to go. Just racing history, one tweet at a time, and one official defense.gov transcript of his. Fucking A, we're so doomed. We're so unbelievably doomed. Anyway, moving on. Another friend, Aloha from Wahoo. Anything on Sears? Nothing I've seen about Sears recently. So I don't know. I have no idea. I'll have to see what the Sears tweeter guys are up to. Thomas V-Day present from the Ruskies. Oh, the Chernobyl. Yeah. Sarko's open. Geminius Houston. You said you like skiing on multiple occasions. What are your thoughts on fishnet mesh as a base layer? It was suggested to me that it's a lot warmer than normal base layers. I don't know if it's warmer, but it sure is hot. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can try it. I do have a mesh shirt I wore it for Halloween one year. I can try that. It's like having a woven blanket. Woven blankets can be, or like knit blankets can be really warm, because what happens is that they got the little holes, and apparently they trap the air in the holes, and the air stays very warm, and that's why it can keep you insulated fairly well, as long as it's not like windy or something. So as long as you have something blocking the wind, such as a nylon or Gore-Tex shell, then I think you'll be fine. So it might be worth an experiment. Maybe not in like minus 30 Montana weather, but up here in 15-degree mountain weather in Seattle, we can try that. Citizen 54 posted on the sub. Not sure what that is. Maybe a Chernobyl thing. D, hi y'all. Is Elon dead yet? Tom Zock. Hello everyone. HW. What crazy times we live in the moment. At the moment, it's stunning from the perspective from a European how fast Trump drives the U.S. into the abyss. What do you expect in the coming time? The end of the United States of America if it keeps going. I fully expect the balkanization of the U.S. states, unless something cool happens. So yeah, I expect this is the end of the United States of America, either as a democracy or as a nation in general. I mean, there's a possibility it falls into some sort of authoritarian, endless regime and takes over everything and squashes everybody. There's also a possibility that like the West Coast just peels off and goes, fuck this, right? And chunks of the Northeast do so. It'll basically be a whole bunch of dummies surrounded by a whole bunch of science and engineers. That's how it's going to play out. States like Washington and Massachusetts and New Jersey, like they spend a lot of state dollars on education to the point where less than 10% of their education dollars come from the federal government. Whereas states like Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana, they spend less than 47% of their state dollars on education. So a majority of their education dollars comes from the federal government. And so evaporating the Department of Education is dooming every child in those states, unless they happen to go to some rich private school. So like you, and then you got states like Oklahoma that are switching to these like voucher systems. They're basically subsidizing the education of rich kids at the cost of the poorer children. Because if you're rich, send your kid to private school, $10,000 a year, $30,000 a year, whatever. And then all of a sudden the government, you're sending your kid to private school, sending you an $8,000 tax credit basically to help cover some of that cost. Well, if there are no private schools that are $8,000, the poor kids will never have the school choice of going to one of those schools. It's subsidizing rich people who don't need it and taking that money out of the education system, where what we need is a meritocracy where we give everyone the opportunity to have a great education and to come out on top, right? And if we just take that away from them and just give it to the rich kids, then we just become, a plutocracy. We're doomed. We are so doomed. So, Tom Zock, whatever's going to come of it is either the end of America and democracy or the balkanization, where we've got smart people on the edges and a whole bunch of dumb people on the inside. So, and I feel sorry because there's a lot of people in the southern states, in the Midwest, who they're good people. They don't want this either, but financially they're not going to be able to escape. They're going to be stuck there. Handmaid's Tale style. Like, they're gonna be stuck because they don't have the money, or working car, or get plane tickets, or whatever it is they need to flee to go set up in another one of these states that might be able to succeed and just be like, I'm done. So yeah, Gilead is coming, I guess. Ace Ventura super chats. Worst case scenario, we get nuked by France. That might be a best case scenario. Be like, oh, oui, boom, boom. Yeah, some might flee to Mexico. They will, yeah. And 9, WTF, surprise show. Well, it was, I tried to get set up early, but the computer took a long time to reboot. And just, so, bam. Ooh, Julio is doing some lurker fishing. Fred Jones got one. Daphne got one. Brandon Wells got one. Yas got one. Antonio Baez got one. So we're getting lurkers out of there. We got some very active people in there as well. So, better luck next time there, Julio. Lurker fishing didn't quite happen. Julius Miami, who has Googled 500 teeth dinosaur? Well, I am now. 500 teeth dinosaur. The Nigersaurus was a dinosaur with over 500 replaceable teeth, long neck, plant eating, blah, 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 blah. My guess is it found in Niger. So show me this thing's mouth, man. It's like little teeny tiny micro teeth. It's like a comb. Flat. You can brush your hair with this guy. Interesting. A lot of holes in its head. A lot of holes. Like, there's the eye socket. That's the nose, but there's a lot of holes in that head. Interesting. Nigersaurus. This is such a terrible website. I cannot read any of this. What's that say? Sauropod. 110 million years old. Yep, Niger. Get some casts of the bones. University of Chicago. There you go. Paul Sereno, you need to fix your website because this is impossible to read. I cannot see that. So fix your website, dude. I know you're not a web programmer. You're a paleontologist, but change the color value of those letters in HTML. It's not that hard. Alexander K, you know what they say, when the cat system is away, greedy hedge funds will play. Put that on a t-shirt. crap! I lost the plot here. Alexander K, where were you? There we are. Okay. Andrew Dowell, Houston. Have you noticed the last 4 times XRT comes off Reg Show over the next week? GME and memes run. Oh, did it come off Reg Show again? I need like alerts to let me know if it's something like that's happening. But yeah, I mean, like they're going in there, they're delivering, making good on nakeds that they created out of XRT, which results in them having to buy GME and other things to pack into that bundle. Brendan Wells, sup BBY, sup No Labs. I got no news that's interesting on either of those. D, 1/3 of federal employees are veterans, but fuck veterans. Is that what the bros think now? Oh, definitely. They fired 1,000 people from the Veterans Affairs. It is now impossible to volunteer at a VA hospital. My mother was a VA. Well, first she worked in AIDS wards back in the 90s, and then she worked in oncology when we basically solved the AIDS problem with these drug cocktails. So she moved into oncology. I was talking to her about this. She basically says that the VA cannot operate without volunteers. That the volunteers who show up do so much. And the fact that volunteers can't come in now means that care is getting even worse at VA hospitals. And they fired 1,000 people from the Veterans Affairs. They do not care about veterans. They will give you all the lip service in the world. That lip service is basically like, big beard, go to the gun range, have tattoos, talk about being a hard man, right? Drink my bullet coffee. That's the entire extent of their relationship with veterans, is basically hyping the ultra masculine motif of being like, I'm military special forces. Thing is that there's only a few special forces guys. Most of the military is logistics. Most of the military is figuring out how to move, arm, and feed everybody. That's it. The chunk of the military that is like go pew, pew, bang bang. Like yeah, they're an elite. They're that top layer. But most of it is trying to figure out how to get those guys fed, how to get them more bullets, how to get them tanks, how to get them bombers to cover them. Right, like that is the majority of veterans. You don't have a huge amount of them who are the ones who are doing the straight combat. It's mostly logistics. It takes a lot to feed, arm, clothe, house the military. And we take it very seriously in this country because we have an actual amendment in the Constitution that makes it illegal for members of the military to be quartered in people's private homes. Because that's what the Brits did. They came in, they stormed to kick people out of their houses, like, where's our house now? Because they didn't have the logistics available to house those veterans themselves. So we made it a very, very important point that we do not quarter our soldiers in private homes, that we provide whatever, temporary housing, tents, bunks, you name it, for those soldiers. We have an actual constitutional amendment for that. But yeah, and so many veterans work in the military. Why? Because their skills are transferable. There's tons of civilian jobs in the military. I think my sister was telling me that the admiral of her unit, I don't know what it is in the Navy. I'm not a veteran. That there's like 200 military and like 500 civilian who work for that administrative department, and we're just gonna fire them all. They do so much work, and so many of those people who work in administration and the civilian employees, they're also former military. My dad worked for 40 whatever years doing military contracting for designing things on bases, worked for the Navy, managing construction of those same things. He's a veteran. He was a Navy architect and then became an civilian architect for the Navy after that. Why? Because the skills are transferable. You know how the government operates. You know how how the contracts work. You know how they're awarded. You know what they're looking for. You know the standards and the acronyms and everything else. So you are very valuable. When he went to Japan, it was a Japanese architecture firm that wanted Navy contracts, military contracts, and they sought out a big white Western dude who had been in the Navy, who was an architect, and could navigate all that for them. And that's why he ended up in Japan for so long, and why I spent time there as a kid. So, these are invaluable skills, and we're just going to like kick them all to the curb. So what? We'll let these 19-year-olds rip apart the government with their stupid unsecured servers. So, yeah. Where am I? What am I doing? Where was I? Iggy Lemon, relationship goals. Find someone who looks at you like Monkey Butt looks at Houston's hand when he's holding a treat. Yes. I'll take over. Why are we so mad at those who expose the abuse of our tax dollars? I, for one, want transparency on everything. This includes abuse by those we elect. Elon isn't exposing anything. He goes out there, he makes a grandiose, unsubstantiated claim that then, within minutes or hours, is disproven by everybody. So, no, he's not excusing abuse of our tax dollars. He is actively abusing our tax dollars. Spending has not gone down. What they're doing, what he and Trump are doing, is they're stealing money, like straight up stealing money out of government agencies, out of grants programs, out of NGOs, out of states. They stole $80 million out of a New York state bank account. $80 million. They just went in there and just stole it. Stole $80 million bucks. Just took it. It's not their money. It was the state's money. And they stole it. They fucking committed a bank robbery. That's a felony. And they stole it. They're not helping anything. And what they're doing with that money is they're creating a sovereign wealth fund that's managed by Trump. That is also against the law. I am someone who has advocated for a sovereign wealth fund for a very long time. But that sovereign wealth fund must be established by Congress and then operated by a neutral party. You can't have Trump all of a sudden collecting trillions of dollars for him to manage. That's what you do with Putin. That's Putin work. That's how you get a mafia state, kickstocracy, like Russia. That's where we are. We are becoming a mafia state. So nothing is being exposed here. Not only that, okay. I have to look on my phone to get it because I can't remember the exact website. Go there. Got to go to bam. Got to scroll down to where are we? Man, she posts a lot. Where did you put it, Shannon? Actually, I think it was Shelly responding to Shannon. That? Nope. Was it? Where are you, dude? Where are you? I know you're in here somewhere. I know you're in here. 2 days ago, I think it was more than that. It's Watch Houston scroll on his phone day. Two. Nope, not that one. Okay, come on. I know it's in here. Come on, man. There's like 40 million. What's the website, dude? Where'd you post it, Shelly? I can't remember. I know it's on this page. Not there. Not there. Where are you? For the love of God. Okay. Maybe I gotta go to the blow by blow as Houston scrolls his stupid phone. Okay, we're gonna find. Gotta scroll down to where those little Nazi assholes are. Is this one? Nope, not that one. Okay. Come on, Nazis. That one? Nope. That one? Nope. That one? Nope. Come on, man. Dude. There it is. Okay, usaspending.gov. That's what. Oh, my God. usaspending.gov. This was a website created by Barack Obama and John McCain. If you want to know where your dollars are going, every single except for Black Ops dollars, where all of your dollars are going, this website, usaspending.gov, will tell you. This was created in 2006 by Obama and McCain to outline where all, like, Elon doesn't need to go into these things. It's right there. The books are right there. You can figure out where every dollar is going. Start searching awards. You can figure out where grants and contracts have gone. So award type, contracts, boom. Okay, we got agency. We'll do IRS, bam, and there we go. Term of service, bam, that's done. Okay, and let's just submit. Let's just see what they have here. Gathering all your data. There you go. Every contract awarded by the IRS to somebody. Bam. Done. Over all time, because I never put any time constraints in there. So if you want to know where money's going and what it's doing, you can see Lockheed Martin Corporation. You can see all the contracts they've received as a government contractor and military contractor. They've received $9.1 billion in contracts, 0 loans. You can see year by year what those contracts are and how much money's gone out to them, what departments have given them those contracts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What it's for, what accounts it came out of, how much money. Like, it's, if you want to search it, it's all right there on an accessible database that doesn't contain personal information like Elon's fucking database. So, no, they're not exposing abuse. They are creating the abuse. They are the abusers. They're gaslighting all of us. Every single one of us. Absolute turds. Just 100% turd. Turd. Never trust anything that comes out of Elon's mouth. He is a pathological liar. Yeah, Elon receives government money. Elon, 37% of his companies are government contracts. Like, Elon's like, we need to find people who can survive without government, assistance. Okay, bud, you first. Like, you fully know the power of the federal purse, of our collective power of our money, because your entire companies exist as a result of it. So don't you come to us and be like, well, that kid got free lunch, fuck him, let him starve, when you can't operate your companies without government contracts. SpaceX would not exist without the federal government. It wouldn't. SpaceX was built entirely with federal dollars. Subsidies, contracts, bailouts, tax breaks. All of those. So, attending oneness. I'll look up Mike Vining. That is what I would call an alpha apex human man. Mike Vining. Oh, yeah. This dude has like a bajillion kills. It's like a super nerd. This dude right here. I remember that guy. Yeah. When Delta Force 68, this little nerd man had what, like 100 kills or something. Absolute manimal. Let's see here. So career, all his awards, all those things. He does it have his badassedness in here? Oh, he worked for Ford Motor Company for a while. He rejoined the Army in '73, and it's like the Delta Force. So he's Delta Force in the '70s and '80s. It's an attachment. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, doesn't have his doesn't show his like, he like saved like a bajillion people and whatever. It doesn't enlist that in here. But he's in the Hall of Fame, so there you go. Yeah, that dude's badass. Says 54 reverse repo hitting lowest yet. Berkshire is out on SPY, NASDAQ. So like March, April collapse. Yeah, possible. There's the H1N1 and H3N1 flus, the alphas and betas, A flu A, flu B, are running rampant right now. And there's a couple of theories as to why they're hitting so hard. One is immune memory loss. So everyone's gotten COVID. It's affected their immune system in such a way that they can get hit hard by these viruses now because the immune systems are so overtaxed that they just can't build up the antibodies to fight the stuff off. But like several states are finding that veterinarians, about 2% rate, have antibodies for bird flu of some kind. So they think that bird flu is now becoming more prevalent in people. Might not be spreading amongst like airborne yet, but people are getting it from their animals, and so they're getting hit hard. And hospitals are filling up, and pulmonary wards are full of folks on machines again. And so like states like Indiana are now testing every single flu case has to come in and get genetically sequenced so they can figure out what the hell is going on. If bird flu gets to the point where it's transmitting via droplets in air, we're toast. The economy's done. We just shut everything down. 51% fatality rate. It ain't gonna go well if that's the case. So, yeah, March April collapse, especially if they're cutting as many jobs as they are of this, and these folks like those veterans who work in who are now civilians in the government. Those veterans are largely Republican voters, and you can look at the leopards eating face page on Reddit and see how many of them are like, I'm a red-blooded American. I supported Trump, and all of a sudden I'm getting kicked out and fired, and I'm losing my pension, and blah blah blah. I didn't vote for this, buddy. You did. Like they told you last summer that their goal is to crash the economy, and the quickest way to do that is to vaporize all that government spending, because that's 25% of our entire GDP, 30% of our entire GDP. So they're going to do it, and they're going to steal that money from the Treasury and put it into a little sovereign wealth fund, and then they're going to buy all the stocks when they're low, and then take over and become Putin 2.0, and Trump will be the richest man in the world as a result. So / Elon, until one of them eats the other, but I think Elon will eat Trump at this point because Trump, seeing Elon's kid just rip into Trump at that press conference, and Trump just being like, not doing anything about it, tells you all you need to know. Peach Sunday, was the election hacked? Yeah. There's never been, even in blowout elections, there's never been an election where the losing candidate didn't flip at least one county. It's never happened. For some reason, it happened in this election with a guy who's never had a positive approval rating his entire life. I'm calling sus on that entire thing. Raj Guman, is there any MMTLP update? Not since last week when we discovered that NextBridge offered 10 times the royalties to University Lands to keep their lease. That's the last I saw of anything new. Corp Walnut, if another administration comes in, lol, cope, buddy. I know it's. I think. Try to like game theory this, right? Trump is obviously pushing for a third term. We've got members of Congress trying to get an amendment passed to give Trump a third term. This is the type of stuff Putin did as well. And we also so Trump either dies in office or he moves on as a dictator, and basically elections we know are done. There's another option where J.D. Vance, which I think is the Charles Yarvin, Peter Thiel side, that J.D. Vance and members of the cabinet, 25th Amendment Trump. And he's like, he's going senile, he's unhealthy, he's crazy, he's doing weird things. The 25th Amendment him. And then the tech bros get their oligarchy, like the full oligarchy they want, and that beats out the Project 2025 ultra-religious wackos side. So you might get infighting amongst those dudes, between the tech bros and the ultra-religious wackos. The problem is with J.D. Vance is that he is zero riz. No swagger. That dude is dull. He's not quick-witted. He basically, all he can do is just get loud and angry, because that's all he has, because he's not creative. He's not funny. He's just a boring-ass, lame dude. As mediocre white male as it gets. So it'll be really hard to consolidate around somebody so uncharismatic and have some sort of long regime from that. Plus, I don't think the religious right will necessarily fall in line. So you're gonna have a fractionizing of the Republican right, which if we do get to midterms or another presidential election, if we do end up having that, they'll eat them alive. Trump. They asked Trump like, "Is JD Vance your successor?" And he's like, "No." So like that's got to sting if you're JD. Trump being like, "Not that loser." So, yeah. Tell one, there's quite a few U.S. companies lose Canadian contracts due to disability, and folks talk about solidarity in the Great White North. Good job, Canadian apes. Yeah, good job. If I were Canadians, I'd be so pissed at America too, at the United States of America as well. I would like to go to Whistler and go skiing in maybe April, and I'm scared. I'm gonna have to wear my Truck Fump T-shirt just so that they know that I have nothing to do with him. That's what, like, it was like going to Europe in 2002, going to move there. Is like every conversation I had with Europeans was like, I got nothing to do with George Bush. I didn't vote for him, and they're like, whew. And then heading into Europe in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, every single conversation basically was like, I did not vote for that man. Do not blame me. I did my part. And they're like, all right, you're one of the good ones. That was every conversation. Like, I don't have to do that with Canada. I'm sorry, my Canadian sisters and brothers. It is just, we live in the dumbest timeline, man. I don't know how it's gonna end. I think the leaning towards the bad ending, very small chance of an okay or good ending. So bad ending's getting the leverage right now. Corporate walnut were cooked. Yeah. D. Trump is not firing just low-performing federal workers. He's firing everyone he can, as many as he can. There's no drain the swamp happening. No, it is. We are going to mine the swamp for all the coal and just burn it. And that's it. So, it says before, Department of Energy has paused the firings of hundreds of employees who work on key agency maintaining U.S. nuclear weapons stockpile. Yeah, that's another thing. It's like, Putin is loving this. He's like, oh my gosh, you got rid of U.S. aid. Oh, you're vaporizing the State Department. Oh, you're going to get rid of all your nuclear engineers. Like, this is the type of stuff that dooms us. I mean, look at how many fucking planes are falling out of the sky right now and crashing into each other on runways. There's this meme going around like Pete Buttigieg was like single-handedly keeping the planes in the sky by himself because of how quickly that is deteriorating. I need to have a conversation with some of my pilot friends and see how they're feeling about it. If they're getting any sense that things are different with air traffic control than they were before. Are you making a bed there? Good job. Okay, yeah, let's kick that thing around. This is I read that one. Okay, we need to scroll down. Oh, I gotta go. D. Social Security is our own money, for fuck's sake. Not only that, but the largest purchaser of government debt is the Social Security Administration. You get taxed your Social Security dollars. That goes into Social Security Administration. Social Security Administration takes that money and buys U.S. Treasuries with it, supporting the U.S. government, and then sits there, and then with the interest off of that, pays out to all of the retired folks and the disabled folks and the kids whose parents died and stuff like that. It's good. It's a good thing. Like, our tax dollars are paying for the government, whether it's directly going to the Fed or federal government or going to Social Security. That's how it works. So what's going to happen is we're going to put it in the sovereign wealth fund. Trump's going to get his 2 and 20 for managing it, and he's going to become a trillionaire as a result. Right, monkey? Right. Look at your little tube face. You tube dog. Come on. Come here, tube dog. Come say goodbye. Come say goodbye, everyone. We're ending the show here. Come on. Get up there. There we go, tube dog. Yeah. Come on. Face everybody. Show everybody that little tube face. Harumph. Okay, everyone. You guys have a great day. Yesterday, my brain was like it was Friday, so I was saying I'll see you on Tuesday. I'll see you on Tuesday, unless I do GeoGuessr on the weekend. By all means, swing by GeoGuessr. The link is down there somewhere in the description. And you can ask me questions at GeoGuessr too. We can chit chat. It's a little more casual. It's a little lighter crowd. So I'll see you guys then. Until then, have a great weekend. Shall we do regular? Bing. All right. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Where's my button? There's my button.